What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Butter the Great. In this video, we got some more assembly issues to talk about. Some easy, some bad. Something as simple as windshield wiper hoses not being canceled up properly, to shocks not being bolted up properly. Yet again, shocker, right? That delivery email that half of everybody got that coincidentally came out 6 hours after I posted the defective video. We're gonna talk about some more assembly issues. We're gonna talk about some good stuff, right? Hopefully. And I'm also gonna talk about my build too that was allegedly built the other day. May or may not have been based on these videos. So enough of this fluff. Let's get into the stuff. Now, before I get started, there's a lot of new eyes around. So a lot of you guys subscribe to the channel. I want to thank you for choosing me to be your #1 source for TRX news, whether it be good news or bad news. So the last video that I did about all these defects or quality issues or whatever you want to call it is trending pretty good. So we got a lot of eyes. So all the videos that I do are not to tell you to not get the TRX. It's to make you aware of issues that might come along with it when you decide to pass on the TRX or decide to keep the TRX, right? So don't take me showing all this bad stuff as like a purchasing deterrent from you actually purchasing this vehicle. I'm still gonna go through mine if Ram doesn't cancel it. But with these issues, at least I have a good idea what might get me stranded somewhere in the middle of nowhere, 700 miles from home. Because I don't wanna drive 20, 30 miles in the middle of nowhere and all of a sudden my coolant runs out or I get a big massive oil leak and I don't have any oil left in my engine. So me knowing all this information that's going on will help prevent me from getting stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Me filming these videos about these issues and putting it out there has caused them to actually look at their process and make sure this stuff doesn't happen again. Because if it didn't do any effect, why did everyone all of a sudden magically get an email 6 hours later after that video premiered about the defects and everyone gets a build date? I mean, it's a crazy coincidence that happened. Trust me when I tell you, I don't want to make these videos because if there wasn't any issues, there wouldn't be a video to make. Just like there wouldn't be Ram Cares if there wasn't issues that they had to take care of a lot. Me doing these videos has caused change because I can tell you for a fact that I know some other trucks that were like that dampener one have been caught before it got in someone's hands. So Ram, I know your public can't say anything about the stuff that's going on. Trust me, I get it because you don't want to be held liable for stuff. But I would like to say that was a good move you guys did by releasing that email mysteriously 6 hours after that video premiered. But the main problem I have with that email, you are counting on your dealers to put people's emails right in these orders when they submit it to the plant, and you're sending those delivery emails to people who either moved on or was never attached. I know for a fact that my email is on my order and I did not get an email either in December or on Monday. I got neither one of them. I got 0. Some people got 2 of them. Some people only got 1. Now I said back in December, which you probably didn't see because that video probably has like about 500-600 views. So, but in that video, I said that the best way to give everyone their build months is to just take that spreadsheet and just give it to customer service. All we gotta do is go in, log in the chat, put our VIN number in, and they're like, hey, you got delivery schedule for April. You got delivery schedule for February. You got delivery schedule for May. And it'd be that simple. Or if someone want to leak the list to me, I mean, there is an email address down in the description. I don't know whose it's for, but hey, if somebody just want to leak that list down there, hey, we will all be thankful. Just saying. And that brings me up to the next point with your dealers. Now, I can understand dealers want to charge $5, $10, $15, $20,000 ADM on these trucks, but it's not right for a dealer to advertise a price online, run someone's credit, and then charge them $20,000 extra in a take it or leave it deal after they already got a credit ding. Now I have a Hummer EV on order, and based on this article right here, I don't expect to have to go to no bait and switch on my order. Just saying. And then the ADM with some of these trucks is getting ridiculous. Like if you look at this truck right here, it's available like 15 minutes from my house. This is a base TRX. Only option it has on is a tow package, and it costs more than my loaded TR2 does. $90,000 for a base TRX with cloth seats. People can buy launch editions for $92, $93, and now we're selling base TRXs black with one option for $90-something thousand. I mean, are you kidding me? Now there are people out there who don't care about getting 20K. Hey, more power to you. But I'm not in that camp, and a lot more people ain't in that camp either. So if you guys want a good deal and want to find MSRP dealer, in the description is the link to the MSRP dealers thread that I started. In there is only dealers selling MSRP. There are more dealers than that, but that's a great place to start if you want to get you a truck. Now, every week there's new dealers getting added in there, so all you do is keep going on the list, and find which one is closest to you. Like I'm gonna probably put in the first post the state in the dealership. I'm probably do that right after this video premieres to make it easier so you ain't gotta go through searching about 3 or 4 pages. But there have been thousands of people who have been going through that forum post looking for a good deal. Just don't go biting for those 15, 20K ADMs, because that's literally ridiculous. No one should be paying $20,000 for a base TRX. 5K, I can understand, but 20, that's launch edition prices. And you're not getting jack but an engine and a tow package. Now to segue into the next topic, right? The part shortage and the chip shortage. Now the part shortage was this email list that leaked out like a couple weeks ago that they sent to the dealers for them to order certain packages. Now I have seen some people pop up with orders that disregarded everything on this list, right? It's still kind of murky right now if that issue is still gonna be prevalent in March. I know that they closed a couple more plants. They're gonna keep them closed until March, but from what I've seen from a leaked plant schedule, starting the week of the 22nd, they're going 6 days a week to the rest of the year. So, I mean, they must be having parts in if they're gonna make everyone work 6 days a week. Oh, sorry, Ram, I didn't mean to leak that. Now, the only problem I see, if you look at all these screenshots I'm gonna put across the screen, that you see a lot of everything getting built. You see a lot of TR2s, a lot of carbon fiber. You'll see those. But the problem you'll probably see is you'll see a lot of B-locks. So it looks like B-locks is still probably a concern because all of a sudden they just stopped building that many of them. I mean, you got a few here, got a few there, and then zeros, right? Last week, there was a lot of them. Now this week, there's not that many. So next week, when I do another video, I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see how many B-locks are in builds, because a lot of people order build locks from what I've seen. And now onto the chip shortage. Now, I knew there was a shortage in chips. I didn't know exactly what it was, but apparently someone else found out that it's like a blind spot monitoring sensor. You'll see in other articles that Ram is sending a lot of other 1500s home without that sensor and giving people like a $200, $250 credit. So what they're trying to do is reserve these chips for the vehicles that give them the most margin, right? So you can see these other Ram trucks in this list, they're not gonna get them, but the TRX is, and this is why the TRX is being held up, mainly because of this chip. Now there are some trucks that are being held up for various reasons and not chip related, because like I said in other videos, you got these trucks right here that's still in December, that's still the first week of January, that's still being held up with no explanation to whoever owned these trucks. So Ram, I have no idea why you hold on to his truck for 6 weeks with no updates to his dealer. I mean, that's just crazy. 6 weeks sitting there built, collecting dust, and no one has no idea what's going on with it. I mean, you dropped that other truck on the line, canceled that build, issued another build, and had it built within like 7 days. So if that's gonna be the case, why don't you go ahead and do that rather than have someone sit and wait for 6 weeks for $9,000 in their pocket? Just saying. So my truck went D1 2 weeks ago, and then it was supposed to come down the line this week right here. I figured based on the shipping date, like I told other people, take your ship date, subtract like 2 days, and that's what day your truck should be built. So my ship date was the 15th, and my truck should have been built on like the 13th. The 13th is on a Saturday, so subtract 1 more day. That's why I say between 2 to 3 days. And my truck was built on a Friday. Now, it was built sometime like Friday evening. So fingers crossed nothing happened to my truck on Friday, because something happened to it on Thursday. I had to spend some extra time in the paint shop. So hopefully my truck makes it out, I think like Monday at 12:59 a.m. So sometime right after midnight. So hopefully it makes that, and then my dealer said probably within like a week or 2 it should be in his dealership. So I'm gonna have him go check it out, make sure nothing wrong with it, because I'm not trying to be stuck, like I said, 700 miles away from home and then have to go find a hotel and get towed back to the daggone dealership. Which leads me to these issues right here. Let me scoot back over again, the one to make this sound right here. Now I know a lot of these Mopar guys are gonna say, because y'all have already said that this is a normal tick, stop panicking, they all do this. I'm gonna respectfully say that not every truck sounds like this. Now, I showed a clear example in the last video. They both have a ticking sound, but the one example I showed, the ticking sound went away once it got warmed up. So I recognize that there is a ticking sound, but this one never leaves. And this one right here has been escalated up to stars or whatever they want to call it. Now, if you go look at their live stream when they first announced this truck, every single time this truck was running, they muted the audio and played loud music so you couldn't hear anything. Then if you look at the stock footage, you'll see there's a lot of clips in there where they deleted the audio out of it. So you might say, yeah, that's prototypes making that sound, but that's kind of odd how they intentionally deleted a lot of clips where it might have exposed this sound. So I'm just saying, that maybe there's something more to this. So let's let this play out to see if this is abnormal tick or normal tick, because I don't want my $9,000 truck to sound like this when I drive around. Just saying. Now let's move on to some new issues that's going on. So here goes a video clip of this situation right here. Now you would think that something like this right here with a windshield wiper fluid just skirting out would have been checked either during QA or coming down the line or whatever when someone put fluids in it. And then you would think they would have been checked during the PDI check, because I would assume that someone would check to make sure I got wiper fluid and they actually sprayed it on the windshield. But apparently, I guess that's not something that they checked. And when the owner took it to the dealership and they found out that yet again, the hoses was connected up to the nozzles properly. Surprise, surprise. Oh yeah, have you seen that last video I did about this oil spill in the driveway? Now that truck right there also has an airbag light, and someone also forgot to put the owner's manual in it. Owner ever gets stranded again, he don't know how much oil to put in his engine, because you know how to know the engine man. This one right here is missing a fender bolt, self-explanatory, that bolt's missing. Last but not least, here we go right here with yet another example of another shock not being properly installed, right? The last video you saw where the dampener bolt was missing, the dampener shock on the rear axle. So that one right there, that's very serious. Now you look at this picture right here, you'll see right there on the left how that bolt right there is not all the way in there. Now I'm gonna show you the other side of that bolt where the head is at. You see that head is not even touching the body. So that bolt is allowing that shock to wiggle back and forth. Now that owner heard a rattle and went and found this cross-threaded bolt. And I had to question, what is the purpose of that BSR test track that FCA spent so much money on? What's the point of having a track designed to test squeaks and rattles if that's exactly what's going on after the truck leaves the plant? Like, a lot of these issues are showing up literally the first week. Half these people are stranded the first day. And the scary thing is, this is the second time in 2 weeks that someone has either had an unbolted shock or a cross-threaded shock. And this is only like a small 200 people sample size that I know of that's been delivered or in transit to get delivered. And there's like 2,000 trucks. So you do the math, that doesn't really sound that good to me. If you count the missing fender bolt, that's 3 times we had some kind of structural component that's either not bolted or cross-threaded. Fender is kind of important to have bolted on. A dampener bolt is very important to get held on because you don't want it to scrape up the drive shaft. And then here we go with this third example of a bolt that might potentially fall out at any given time, depending on how the owner drives it. Like I said in the other video, Ram, all these videos are out there about these trucks are jumping, and I definitely not feel comfortable jumping my truck if I can't even be sure that my shocks are bolted in properly. While y'all did respond and give everyone a delivery email for when they expect their trucks, that wasn't exactly the type of response that I would expect to have from you guys. Because while it was thoughtful, and you guys actually did do that, because there's no doubt that video caused you guys to release that email. And here we go yet again. So, I mean, what's gonna be the response this time? You gonna send the email out again? And then look at this response. Someone installed this bolt so bad they could not get it out of the dealership. And then if they were able to get it out, based on this, they can't even get a damn bolt sent to them. This is crazy. Y'all halo vehicle with all these issues, and people are paying $20,000 over on some cases, $15,000 over for this kind of build quality. That does not make any sense. If this is supposed to be the best vehicle you can offer, I hate to see what the worst vehicle you can offer going to look like, because if you can't get suspension bolts on a $90,000 truck, what you do on $40,000 trucks? I just want to know. So everyone who got a TRX, or who about to get a TRX, or about to get one in the future, make sure you get it checked from top to bottom, because like I said, this cross-threaded bolt should have never made it to a customer. It should have been checked at the factory. It should have been installed right. They should have heard it on the squeak track, because they got a track designed to hear rattles and squeaks. That's what it says on their own company website. Then they did the PDI check, missed on the PDI check, but then the owner can drive it around for a short while and then bam, here we go. And this doesn't happen a few months later. This happened within a week. Same thing with the missing dampener bolt. Went down the line, maybe it had the bolt in it, maybe it didn't have the bolt in it. But hey, it went to the PDI check. If it's really on a rack getting checked, if someone would have saw a loose bolt in there, they don't just magically unthread like several threads and within 20 minutes. Just saying. Unless it was just the wrong bolt to be installed in the first place. I can understand a quality issue on the inside or a radio going bad or maybe you got a cracked windshield, but I shouldn't have to worry about my shocks not being bolted in, because here we go with 2 examples. And I know of 2 more that I know about that happened. So that's literally 4 times I've heard or seen this happening. This should not be happening. A $90,000 Halo vehicle that some people are trying to pay $20,000 extra for. They're getting bait and switched $20,000 when they get to the dealership. Just saying. Trust me when I tell you, I hate making videos like this because, like I said, I got a TRX on order and it's gonna be coming sometime the next couple weeks. So I would hate to have a video talking about mine having the same issues, because it pisses me off, really. I only want to talk about good news going on. I want to talk about the numbers staying around 100 trucks per day. I want to talk about them going to 6 days a week. I want to talk about getting people build weeks. I don't want to talk about worrying about people's trucks gonna fall apart literally at any moment. I'm gonna end this video right here because it really upsets me that I help hundreds of people every single day just try to stay positive about this nonsense going on, and y'all just making it hard because I do this for free and you can't put a $2 bolt in and you get paid $90,000 a truck. Ridiculous. So until the next video, I'm pissed off.